Adaptive Restoration, tomorrow's Instagrammable Taal landmark. Hello everyone, this presentation is pre-taped because my network's connectivity is erratic where I'm located. Here are some photos of a few homes we've repurposed in the town of Taal in the southern province of Batangas in the Philippines. In the past 26 years, we've restored 6 homes dating back from the 1800s, and we are currently undertaking our 7th project, a kamalig warehouse with scattered ruins, which would be converted into an outdoor garden cafe. Our 8th property shall presently remain as a storage facility. Casa Eulalio and Gliceria Villavicencio, nicknamed fondly as Casa V, was restored initially as a secondary family residence outside of Metro Manila. Through the years, interior and exterior spaces have evolved when we began to accommodate the influx of strangers who knocked on our doors. We did not have the heart to refuse entry, since most locals have traveled from other provinces, and there are also foreigners from different countries. Most often, they requested to take souvenir photographs. Due to its curb appeal, the private ancestral home gradually became a public destination. Eventually, we decided to officially open as a museum house, complete with tour guides in the form of our college scholars. To date, we still reside on premises, so some of the furniture and fixtures have to be comfortable. Adaptive reuse is most seen in the original 1800s enclosed pen for animals in the bodega portion of the house or storeroom. I remember seeing remnants of a watering trough which we could not save or restore. In the 1997 restoration, this was designed as a bedroom for our visiting Manila office staff. Exposed adobe walls were plastered properly with slate, lime, and cement, and it was furnished with antique beds and a wardrobe. It also had been repurposed in the succeeding years as a home-based real estate office, so desks and a built-in shelf containing marketing materials were installed. We were developing our first subdivision in Taal then. Because the house is now a museum, this room has been adapted as an audiovisual room for visiting guests who are shown a film on the home's revolutionary history. Huge tarpaulins of Taal streetscape serve as a wallpaper in one wall, and posters of various films and telenovelas like Bonifacio, General Luna, Ikaw Lamang, and Larawan line the other wall. These films and telenovelas were filmed in the premises. The small private garden, which used to be a courtyard separating Casa V from the Villavicencio gift house next door, which my husband's second cousins inherited, was planted with shrubs to delineate boundaries. This was also done to avoid ownership issues from future heirs of the other home, since there were now 2 titles to the property, once connected by a second-floor bridge. The bridge was probably ruined during one of the world wars. Here we installed dining tables using repurposed hardwood which had fallen during seasonal typhoons to enable us to offer local delicacies included in our small tour packages. We also landscaped the large front garden, planted shade trees, and installed picture-perfect seating areas, an old wooden swing, and a calesa, or local horse carriage. This enabled us to adapt the 1800s agricultural space used as a grazing area for horses, and as an open kitchen. It now had a covered portico where we offered educational tours and entertainment. Barong weaving and balisong making demonstrations, folk dancing, and musical presentations were occasionally held there. Life-size standees in Filipiniana costumes were cut from excess construction materials or retazos and positioned properly for better photo and Instagram images. Another home, which I call the Nagpulok Lego House, was constructed out of materials from a home that was sold piecemeal from a different local community called Nagpulok. Ideally, we would have liked to restore the home in situ or on the actual site, but the former homeowner in Nagpulok did not want to sell the land where his home stood in. Rather than lose all the materials to different buyers, my husband purchased the whole house and reconstructed it like a Lego puzzle on our land located at a few meters from the Taal Basilica. In the Nagpulok location, the former owners used the first floor as a mini grocery and as a stockroom warehouse. We renamed it Casa Herencia, located at a mixed-use area of Barangay Tierra Alta, which we owned. It has now been adapted as part of the Paradores del Castillo Hotel Annex, which can accommodate a group of 6 persons. Our Lego house, which was a former parking area for horse carriages in the 1800s, which became a sari-sari store with a stockroom in the 1990s, has now been adapted as a hotel family suite. The Del Castillo property, purchased from my husband Ernie's maternal Fajardo del Castillo first cousins, was restored and reconfigured as the Paradores del Castillo Hotel. It has a covered outdoor dining area, garden cafe, infinity pool, and a large water tank now painted with trompe-l'oeil details to look like a castle. It could be a private dining room in the future if we convert it without compromising its structural integrity. Because of COVID restrictions, the 2,000 plus square meter garden is well used as a venue for small weddings, ensuring proper social distancing. Casa Herencia's ground floor and Casa Noble became the hotel annexes. All photos show adaptive reuse of spaces. Each home embraced past designs which were altered a bit with newer and better functional spaces, while looking forward to the future as commercial establishments. The orange and blue house called Casa Noble was designed and intended initially as a barong and Philippine fabric museum, but we were caught with this pandemic and had to adjust. Mindful about using sustainable materials, we commissioned a new fiberglass ceiling mold for Casa Herencia instead of using tin. We could not be purists in an age where any elaborate detail can be substituted identically for something that is also in keeping with the design period of the Victorian era homes. Architectural details can now be replicated in resin or with the use of 3-dimensional wallpaper or trompe-l'oeil visual illusions. Instead of using hardwood in adding 10 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms in a huge main house, which initially had only 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, we used fiber cement boards with insulation as room dividers. Hardwood panels, common in most Victorian-era homes, were replicated here using fiber cement panels, chair rails, larger cornices, and baseboards. The adaptive purpose as a hotel or as an annex were clearly defined. Thus, Generation X, Y, and Z modern elements were added, such as hidden speakers at the garden in the shape of fall boulders, and picture-friendly private and public spaces to maximize the cliffside homes, panoramic countryside views, and vistas of the mountains, the Pansipit River, and the Balayan Bay. For the interiors, intercom, solar heating, and the most important addition was Wi-Fi and internet connectivity for Instagram to work. I hope this presentation has inspired you a little to respect and value whatever structure you now live in. In the future, an intrepid soul may decide to repurpose your space.